What's up, everybody? My name is Amy, and this is the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast.
Put your way that you're sitting on top of the world.
Hello. What is going on tonight, everyone? Welcome to the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. My name is Amy. Welcome to my show. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday evening. Mine has been rather quiet and uneventful today. Not a whole lot going on. Oh, so I hope everyone is having a better day than me. Uh-oh, oh shit. What did I do? Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. Anyway, well, there is a lot going on out here in the true crime community. Got a bit of a new case going on. Little boy out of Savannah, Georgia, who's missing, Quinton Simon. And any of you that know me very well know that I've been in true crime a long time. I was true crime when true crime wasn't cool. And, here lately, including this case, a couple of cases have come up, that have taken me back to some old cases here in Arkansas. The Kylie Rodney case, immediately took me back to the death of Olivia Jane Ward in 1989, young 16-year-old girl who had also went to a party and died. And, so that case, took me back to Janie and all the years that we advocated for Janie and justice for Janie and whatnot. And to this day, we still don't know the truth of what happened, and I don't guess we ever will. I did a podcast on Olivia Jane Ward, if you hadn't seen it and would like to see it. It's called Unresolved, The Death of Olivia Jane Ward. It's here on my channel. And I talk about her case and talk a little bit about the Kylie Rodney case as well. And, just kind of compare the notes in the two cases. But this child who went missing in Savannah, Georgia, This one took me back to 2014. Little boy named Malik Drummond in Searcy, Arkansas. 2 years old. He went missing from his home, his father's home in Searcy, Arkansas. And it took well over a year of searching for little Malik and investigating the case, which, just like this case of Quinton Simon, went from a missing child case to a criminal investigation. Unfortunately, Malik's remains were found, and his father was charged with capital murder. His name was Jeffrey Clifton. And his father's girlfriend was charged with hindering apprehension. And Jeffrey Clifton ended up pleading no contest to second-degree murder, the second-degree murder of his son, Malik Drummond, 2 years old. And he got 40 years. He's at Cummins. And the girlfriend, she got charged with hindering apprehension, and she did like 4 months. She did some kind of little boot camp program, and then they let her go. But this case with Quinton Simon just, takes me back to the disappearance of little Malik Drummond, and I have a very strong suspicion that the case of Quinton Simon will turn out just like the case of Malik Drummond. Hello, Heidi, always peeping. How are you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But I'm always glad to have someone in here to chat with, and welcome to my show and welcome to my channel. You know, just like in this case with Quinton Simon, the parents of little Malik Drummond also tried to convince authorities that one of them was sleeping, one of them was taking a bath or in the bathroom or something, and the boy went out the door. And I don't mean to sound like negative Nancy, but whether or not they feel like these parents are telling the truth. And I think that that is adding more into whether or not the police are as quick to issue these Amber Alerts. You can't hear me? Oh, my internet may be going in and out some. I apologize. I live out in the sticks, so but I mean, it's nowadays it's nothing personal. But in any missing child's case, the first okay, you can hear me now. In any missing child's case, the parents are always the first suspect. It's nothing personal. That's just the way it is. I've been covering cases since the late 80s. And in the early 90s, or excuse me, throughout the 90s, when we started getting more, world news and things like that, and we became aware of more aware of what was going on in other states besides our own. That's when we had, John Benet Ramsey went missing, and her parents were blamed. People still blame them. People still think that they killed that child. And we had Susan Smith in South Carolina. We had Darlie Routier in Texas, which is a case that I'm still following to this day. And then in the early 2000s, we had Andrea Yates. We had this surge of parents killing their children. Yeah. Yeah, she knows. Yeah, making you feel like summer all over again. I believe me, I understand what you're saying. But throughout the 90s, we had this surge of parents killing their children. And now we have a new generation that is having children. And what's happening in these cases is it's children that are in bad homes, and CPS is involved or has been involved in the family at some point in their lives. We've got this surge of parents killing their children, and when you look at the case, it's a case of not only bad parents and neglectful parents and murdering parents, it's failure by CPS and drugs. Yes, Heidi, drugs. And that's the funny thing. And in those cases in the 90s, those people weren't on drugs. Susan Smith wasn't on drugs. Darlie Routier wasn't on drugs. The Ramseys weren't on drugs. Of course, Andrea Yates was, hearing voices, and she was, mentally, had very serious mental illness. And Christina Riggs here in Arkansas, she was another case. And but now, you've got this new generation that's having children, and they're all into the drugs, the meth, I swear, even worse boyfriends than what we had. They're all slinging and dealing drugs and into drugs, and ain't got a job, and wannabe rappers, and they're just involve parents that have killed their children. All these people are in jail right now awaiting trial. And as those trials come up, of course, I will be covering them. But if you haven't seen my video titled Monster Moms, you really, really, really need to watch that, because those consist of a lot of the current cases that I'm covering, and the parents who are in jail right now awaiting trial. So, I think how, things have changed. And, with this Quinton Simon little boy missing, mom thinks that her kid climbed out of the playpen and wandered out the door, and poof, he's vanished. Did you see that ridiculous stuff? Grandma. Oh no, yeah, not yet. Haven't seen that yet. But from what I understand, that family is a pretty interesting cast of characters. And they all got rap sheets longer than Stacy Keebler's legs. But you know, I something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. And I sit here and I worry about, and I see these cases after day after day after day. Summer Wells, Harmony Montgomery, Oakley Carlson, and the list goes on. By CPS now. And they've got these parents that are strung out on drugs and, got horrible, the girls have got horrible boyfriends, or, the girls are just as bad as the boyfriends. Oh my God. Makes me think of this joke that Jeff Foxworthy tells. If you've been on the news telling how bad the tornado was more than once, you might be a redneck. Oh my gosh. So it's crazy now. The news has turned into reality TV. But this is a serious concern. And I don't work for CPS. Unfortunately, I'm unable to work anymore. I know these people are overworked, underpaid, need more funding, they need more workers and whatnot. But this is something that's going to have to be brought to the attention of our state representatives and our congressmen. If you go out and vote, you vote these people in, and this is going to have to be brought to the attention level of the federal government, because we don't just have a state problem from state to, we have a problem in every state, and therefore it needs to be brought to the attention of the federal government, in my opinion, because they're the ones that are up there making all these different decisions about stuff. And just like the human trafficking, it's something that's going to have to be addressed and looked at with all seriousness. I don't care what political stance you take, or whether you're Republican or Democrat. We've got both Republicans and Democrats in Congress. So it doesn't matter what political party you're with, because I think we can all agree that this is a serious problem, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, and therefore, this is a problem that affects us all. And this isn't even a political issue, but something's going to have to be done at a higher up level, that this is going to have to be brought to the rest of the world's attention, and not just the YouTube true crime community on YouTube. Oh man, people are nuts. Heidi. But I see this case already with the disappearance of Quinton Simon being just like the rest of the cases. And they took in some evidence today, and it's being analyzed. They're analyzing, of course, the digital footprints of everyone closest to the child. I'm sure they've probably taken that playpen and stuff into evidence, and they're probably having it tested and analyzed and whatnot. I don't know that for sure, but I would assume that'd be the first thing I'd take. I don't know why they didn't bring some dogs in early on to try and get a fresh scent and see what happened. But, these cops are not stupid. I believe they are fully aware that that this mom's story doesn't jive, and that something ain't right. It's just a matter of them finding the physical and forensic evidence, finding the child, whether he's alive or deceased, most likely deceased. I'm not even trying to, hope that the child's alive. Like I said, I don't mean to sound like negative Nancy, but, this is every day. This is every week. And I'm not even trying to fool myself anymore with thinking that there's a possibility that these kids could be found alive, But the mother and the boyfriend are, to me, what's looking like, the most guilty. I don't know what she does. He's a wannabe rapper. Looks like a white kid in play. And, it's just, and I call them young kids. Even though they may be over the age of 18, they're young kids. I'm a 52-year-old woman. I got kids older than them. So to me, yeah, they're young kids. Okay, Heidi. Well, thanks for stopping by. I sure appreciate you. Have a good evening. Enjoy your dinner. And it's these parents. Every time. There's only one case right now that I don't think the parents were involved, and that's Monkey Bond. I do not think Brandy or her husband were involved. I do believe that Monkey is the one child in all of these cases that so many of us are covering that is the one kid who truly was abducted. But something's got to be done somehow to bring this to a national level of attention. And like I said, this is not a political issue. This is not a liberal or a conservative issue or a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is this is an American problem that has got to be addressed. It's just got to be addressed. And Whether or not you are pro-life or pro-choice, when you look at things from a middle ground perspective, I think that the overturning of Roe v. Wade, whether you like it or you don't like it, is going to cause even more children to die and more babies to be found in dumpsters. That's just my feelings about it. But I do believe that the police are, they're heavy on this case. They are fully focused on this case, and I think that I don't think this is going to drag out as long as Summer has. I think there's probably likely going to be a quick arrest and hopefully a quick finding of little Quinton Simon. Because, enough is enough. And, like I said, I don't know what it's going to take to stop it or to, bring it to a slow roll. But this culture of kids killing their kids is out of control. It's out of control. And the rest of the world out there that's not on YouTube reporting true crimes and are not sitting at home as true crime junkies. They're out, going to the lake and the ballpark and on vacation, and they go to work every day from 9 to 5, and they come home and cook supper for their cute little family and their fancy little home, and they don't have a fucking clue as to what's going on out here in the real world. A lot of people are like, well, if it don't affect me, then, it ain't happening. Yeah, it is. But, I do hope that this case comes to a close soon. I feel like by the comments that we have gotten through the media from law enforcement, that this is hopefully going to be a quickly closed case. And that these, cops, they already know what's going on. So prayers for little Quinton Simon, and the loss in the family. I don't know what to think about these grandparents just yet. They had custody of the child, but yet we're going to work and leaving the child in the custody of, the mother that they took him away from, and then, a babysitter and whatnot. And so I think we've just got a little bit of negligence with everyone involved and everyone who was close to this little boy, even the babysitter. Well, I didn't think it was any of my business, or I didn't think it was my place. Yes, it is. See something, say something. Plain and simple. See something, say something, even if you're wrong. Even if it's, a false alarm. If you think something's going on with a child and that they're being abused, say something. Please. I've never seen such a lack of people who wanted to stand around and film every fucking thing, but yet it ain't none of my business. I ain't getting involved. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it. Or they're just covering secrets for their family member or their friend or whatever, But this is just a horribly sad ordeal. Once again. Another sad ordeal is for any of you that follow Adventures with Purpose, Julissa Fuentes was found. Adventures with Purpose was on their way to search for her when they got the call about Kylie Rodney. So they detoured for a couple of days, found Kylie Rodney, and then went on to do their search for Julissa Fuentes. They searched 2 bodies of water and did not find her. But she was discovered by search and rescue after being spotted, remnants of her car being spotted on a hillside. She apparently went off a like a 40-foot embankment, and I'm not for sure if there was another car involved or she just fell asleep at the wheel and ran off, a cliff. But that is what happened. And she has been found, her remains being returned to her family, and we now know what happened to Julissa Fuentes. Now we've got to find these other people, these missing persons, these missing children. We got to find Quinton Simon. We got to find Summer Wells. We got to find the remains of Oakley Carlson and Harmony Montgomery and the West Boys, and it's just sad. Just so sad and senseless. Anyway, I am going to get off here. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I'm going to watch a movie and then go to bed myself. So if you would, I would appreciate it if you're here for the first time or you are a returning subscriber. Please hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and turn it to all so that you know when I either go live or upload a new video. I would really love to try and build my little channel here and get, more support. It's free to subscribe. It's free to like. And so everyone have a wonderful night. And please remember to be the change that you wish to see in this world. As Michael Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror. Peace out, everyone. Have a wonderful night.